Okay. So I'm not going to be looking at my phone because that's dangerous. But as I look down, I want to check in with y'all. So I know there's only 2 people on this Zoom. Part of it's my fault because I keep rescheduling it, but I know that I have rescheduled, but showing up at all is better than not showing up at all. And that's really what I wanted to talk about tonight. And for tonight's motto to be is showing up at all is better than not showing up at all. And life happens. And I beat myself up about it just because that's my personality. But like, life happens. We have some of us have dogs and shit that happens. Like, for example, me, my car, like, just so you guys all know, like, my car literally blew up when Connor was driving home on the freeway. Like, I get oil changes religiously. We take care of our cars. Like, I don't know what more we could have done better. My car was only 4 years old and literally the entire engine took a shit. Like, I may not have my car back till the end of this month. And that's why I've been like talking about getting a new one, because we just had to get another new car so that we can have two cars again, because I'm so sick of not having a car, you guys. It's not even funny. And like, I'll get in a rental for a year if it means us having another car. Like, I can't do this anymore. So all of that said, I just want everybody to know and like be reminded again tonight that it's not about going pedal to the metal. Like, feel like I need to send 120 messages a day or I'm failing, or I need to get 15 haps up a day or I'm failing, or if I don't get, like, fill in the blank, 20 new potentials, or like whatever it is for you. We all have that like number in our head of like, okay, if I don't this, whether it be a rank or an income or a daily goal, we feel defeated. Like, drop a 1 if that's you, where you just like, if you're not 100% hitting your goals, you feel like you're not hitting the mark. And I've definitely been there, like, more times than I can count. Even just like talking to you guys right before I like started recording, like, I have felt like I'm failing you guys just because I've had to reschedule our team Zooms and I haven't been as, religious about our leadership Zooms. And like, there's things that I feel like I personally have dropped the ball on. And Rochelle and I were just talking about this the other day, because she was like, when I'm excelling in my personal business, I'm failing in my leadership, and vice versa. When I'm killing it in my leadership, I'm dropping the ball in my personal business. Like, again, drop a 2 if that's you, because it is me, and I'm pretty sure I have a cop behind me. So I'm a little bit sus. I'm just gonna like wait till Connor passes me because he's also behind me. Oof, I really hope this isn't a fucking cop, because I'm going like 80 miles an hour, but Connor's passing him. So I guess I shouldn't feel bad. Hang on, y'all. What? Sorry, you guys. Yeah. Sus as fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try and get out of it. Let's just see if I flow with traffic. If he's still gonna be sus. Oh, I really fucking hope I don't get pulled over. Connor, I already got a speeding ticket. Mackenzie, your lashes look bomb. Okay, Connor's flying, so I should be good. Let's just let him take the blow, right? Okay, so back to what I was saying. I was saying that, I feel like I've been like dropping the ball. And Rochelle and I were talking about like, if you're exceeding in your personal business, you're failing in your leadership, and vice versa. And it's so hard because you have to learn how to balance the two among balancing life and like making time for yourself, making time for your spouse, making time for your kids, making sure that you're showing up in all areas of your life. But I want to be your reminder tonight that you're not going to be able ever to give 100% in 100% of areas in your life 100% of the time. Like, that's just simply not how it works. And I've been focusing so much more on like being in the present when I'm with my family, or when I'm working, or when I'm making time for me. Like, when I go to the gym, I'm not working anymore. Like, I used to like make my posts and put up stories when I was in the sauna, or like when I wasn't doing something that I needed my hands. And I don't do that anymore because that's me time. And that's taking away from the space and the separation that I need from everything. Like part of the reason I'm going to the gym is to like let go and to just like have a second for me, right? And so I want you guys to pick something, if you haven't already, to like, what is something that you can do for yourself? And I was just talking to Brie about this because we had a one-on-one before this, and she needs help with a new schedule. And you guys know that I'm always here for a schedule or a to-do list with you guys. But especially when like life is changing and things shift, like you need to refocus and realign with your goals in your business. And you have to make sure that you're making time for those that you love and that love you. And most importantly, yourself. Like you guys, you can't be a good mom, a good wife, or a good leader, or a good business owner if you're not making time for you. And like I have, through trial and error, unfortunately made those mistakes already. And I hope that you guys can not make those mistakes because I've already made them for you. And so I am here tonight again reminding you, because this isn't the first time that we've talked about this, but I've been listening to and reading so much about burnout lately. And I've noticed and recognized not only when I feel burnout, but why I'm feeling burnout. And 90% of the time, it's because I'm not making time for the things that are important to me, i.e. my family, i.e. going to the gym, like doing my nails, getting like whatever, my lashes, my lips, whatever it is. And therefore, I don't feel like myself, for lack of better words. I don't feel like my best self. And my best self is triple diamond / ambassador team me, right? Well, how can I expect to be ambassador triple diamond leader when I'm not showing up as that girl today? And I don't just mean material things like getting your lashes done or getting your hair done or whatever. Those are just personally things that make me feel good and make me feel confident. But going to the gym is a great example, like just moving your body, period, and making sure that you're making time for your health, because your mental health will suffer if your physical body is suffering, and vice versa. If your physical body is struggling, your mental health is going to be struggling. When I'm sick, you guys, like actually ill, there's no way in hell I'm having a good mindset. Like, I don't know if that's just something that I've put on myself or something that is legitimately true, but like, I just am not in a good headspace when I'm sick. And when I'm mentally sick, my body feels yucky. Like, I don't know if that's just me or, oh, I needed this. Okay, so it's not just me. But like, I feel that way. So what I've learned, and that I hope you guys take away from tonight, is that I've been in this business 3 years, you guys. I've been in this business through 2 different babies. That means 2 different postpartum depression stages. That means getting put on medication. That means getting back into my physical and mental health, getting back to feeling confident, getting my lashes and my hair done again because my business allows. And yes, there are times that we need to make sacrifices because we're not where we want to be in our business. But at the end of the day, like, if you are not focusing on you, there's no way in hell your business is going to succeed. Like, it's just not, let alone your relationship with your team, because that comes from your heart, right? And I've been learning again a lot about like chakras. And your heart chakra is what is going to have people be able to relate to you, have people be able to confide in you, to have trust in you, to feel like they can be with you on certain things. We're going to be inspiring and motivational and like all those different things. That's not going to come if you're not focusing on your mental health. And I want so badly, especially because I suffer with things like that, that this team knows that, number one, this is a safe place and you are always welcome here, and you are always welcome to come to me and talk about things, because I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, but I'm guaranteeing you that there is nothing that you've been through that I haven't, in one way or another. Like, our situations may not be exactly the same, but I guarantee you there's a way that I can relate, and where I can be like, girl, I've been there. This is what happened to me. And not to like compare our situations to each other, but just so that you know you're not alone. And like, when you guys have these thoughts or you feel burnout, you're not alone, and it's not a bad thing. Like, again, all these things that I've been reading and learning about burnout, it's literally just a shift of focus. And I don't mean like perspective. Okay, those are 2 different things. Shift of perspective, or shift of focus, and perspective are 2 different things. Perspective is the way that you interpret something, right? Like you can look at the same situation two different ways. But when you're talking about shift of focus, are you focusing on something that is negative, or are you focusing on something that is positive? And it could be in the same situation or it could not. And so when you're looking at burnout and you're figuring out how to shift your focus, it means that you need to start using the 80-20 rule. That doesn't just apply with your team. That doesn't just apply with your 6 list. That doesn't just apply with it works in your business, period. That applies with life. That means 80% your family, 80% you, 80% on the things that you love to do, and 20% on your business. There's a reason that you don't have to work 12 hours a day and it works. That's not what builds a successful entrepreneur. It's working until they bleed. What happens and what builds a breakthrough and a successful entrepreneur and a successful business owner is someone who takes care of their damn selves, takes care of their family, and is internally happy, therefore spreads motivation, therefore inspires, therefore attracts the things that they want only in business. And not only that, possibly attract the things and bring into your life what you're truly wanting. If that's what I mean when I'm saying shift of focus, right? So I want you to remember the 80-20 rule. Not, like I said, not just with your team, not just with your 6 list, like all of that aside, just life. Are you giving the things, including you in your life, the time that you deserve? And if not, are you questioning why you're burnt out? Like, hello? Why are you burnt out? Because you're not focusing on yourself. You're not spending time with your family. And so your spouse is bitching that you're on your phone all the time. Well, maybe you are. And maybe that's a problem that you need to solve. Maybe your kids are pulling on your leg all day long, asking to play with you, and you feel guilty about it at the end of the day. Well, it's because you didn't play with them. The whole reason that you're doing this business is to be with your kids. So why are you acting like you need to be on your phone all the time? Why are you acting like your job, your 9 to 5, is an excuse? You started this business for X, Y, and Z reason, and you have time for what you make time for. Point blank, period. And I cannot anymore, and I'm not saying this necessarily even to you guys. Like when I talk about shit on Zooms, I'm mainly speaking to myself, because otherwise I would croak if I thought that I was talking to you guys. Like I literally just can't. I don't know why. And if you guys are like holding back from doing Zooms with your team because you feel like you're like yelling at them the whole time, like honestly, I am so red. And the whole time I'm like giving myself a pep talk and like reminding myself of the things that I need to hear, because otherwise I won't do it. I am such a Gemini in the sense that I get bored really, really easily. Like look up Gemini zodiac signs, definition of boredom, definition. I am a mover and a shaker, and I literally, if I'm not being thrilled like 10 out of 10 in something, I want to do something else. I have a lot of hobbies. I like to be around people. I like to whatever, right? Well, the whole reason that I need to do that is because I get bored and I need to be around people who inspire me. And sorry, this car is like riding my ass and I'm like doing 15 miles over the speed limit. Like, fuck off, go around me. Anyways, you guys, my whole point about all of this is, number one, don't be afraid to do Zooms with your team. Number two, it's better to show up than not show up at all. And you don't have to go pedal to the metal. Do you understand that if you sent only 60 messages a day and got 3 haps up a day, every single day, except for your Sabbath day, you would be triple diamond in a year or two if you did it every single day, every day. But when you focus on sending 200 messages a day and you've got to get 20 haps up a day, you're expecting yourself to be a good mom, to be a good person, to make time for yourself, to be a good friend. Like you can't have all your eggs in one basket. So therefore you throw your business, throw in the rag in your business and feel like you're failing because you're not doing the things that you need to do. And then you feel guilty about not completing your 6 list, but it's because you're creating a standard for yourself that is not sustainable. How is that sustainable? And I'm just like throwing out numbers here. Like I send 200 messages on certain days, but I don't send 200 messages every day. And I'd be fucking lying to you if I said that I did. I will never sit here and tell you guys that I send 1 million messages a day, or I do this, or I do that, if I don't actually do it. Because that doesn't create sustainability. That doesn't create duplication within your team. What? What? Yeah, we're gonna be home soon. But that doesn't create duplication. If you were to tell a brand new newbie that they need to send 200 messages a day, do you think they would still be here in 30 days? No. Well, then why are we expecting that of ourselves? No one told you to send 200 messages a day. I will get on you if you're only sending 10 and you're bitching to me about not getting enrollments, right? Like, you need to focus on your result and not the amount of messages, or maybe you need to start focusing more on the time that you're spending on how many messages you're sending versus how many you're actually sending, right? Like, again, shift the focus, not perspective. But you have to create something for yourself and an environment for yourself where you know it's sustainable, because the compound effect, you guys, is so much bigger than going all in, sending all these, doing all this, doing all that, and then completely letting off the next 4 days because you're burnt out. Like, I've been there like way more times than I am freaking proud of. Like, way more times than I'm proud of. Shut up. I know where I'm going. Thank you. And route. Jesus. I've been there way too many times, you guys. And what I find is on the days where I'm just doing quote unquote my bare minimum, aka 60 to 80 messages a day is my bare minimum for myself personally. That's a number that I've found that works for me. It's what I've found. When I do that, you know how many freaking responses I have? I have 20 new potentials today, and I've sent 60 messages. 20 out of 60, that's 30%, 33%. That's a third of the messages that I'm sending that I'm getting back as potentials. That's like insane. On the days that I send 120 messages, I'll maybe get 10. Why do we think that working harder and working ourselves into the ground and not enjoying the day means success? Who told you that? Was it your parents? Was it your upbringing? Because for me, I can for sure say that it was, right? Figure out where the root of these thoughts are coming from for you guys. Why are you holding yourselves to these certain standards? Why are you creating that environment for yourself? Because I've never told you that, right? Drop a 4. Have I ever told you that? If a no, drop a 4. I've never told you that you need to send 200 messages a day to be successful in this business. And if I have, shame on me. Because truthfully, that's not what you need. You need to take inspired action. You need to be in alignment with what your heart feels, what your mind feels, what your body feels, and what your environment feels. And if something doesn't feel right and something seems off, it's probably because it is. And you need to find the root of where all of that is coming from, or you're not going to have a successful business. Because if you're not having a successful life, you're not going to have a successful paycheck. You're not going to have a successful team. So I want to know one more thing in the chat. What is something that you're struggling with that I didn't hit on tonight? What is something that you're like, Lex, my team is struggling with this, or I'm struggling with this, or something that you're actually excited about and I can congratulate you? I want to know something from everyone. One thing. I'll give you a second to think about it. Have you guys struggled with burnout? Like, did what I talked about tonight, like, hit home for you? Because honestly, this was just like so, like, from the heart. I didn't have anything planned, but it was something that I personally have struggled with more times than I would like in my business, especially these last couple weeks. And something that even like when I got off the phone with Bree right before this call, I was like, man, I'm just feeling burnt out, man. I feel like I'm failing my team. Like, I had all these thoughts, and then I had to get to the root, and I was like, well, where are these coming from? Why am I holding myself to that standard? Would I want my team to think that if they didn't show up to 2 Zooms and they had to reschedule them because life was happening, that they're failing? No. But if they didn't reschedule it and they just canceled it, would I say that that's like something that you need to work on? Yes. Because that's just how it is. If you're not showing, No, thank you. Don't do that again. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna look at the chat really quick.
Hey.
Feeling hella burnt out lately. Mindset, definitely needed this. Feeling burnt out too. Inspired action. Okay, I'm glad you guys got something from this. Sit down, please. No, get down. I'm gonna open the gate in just a second. I'm glad you guys got something out of this. Like I said, it was totally like impromptu, but it's something that's been on my heart and that I just wanted to share with you guys. And like I said, I hope you don't feel like I was like coming at you. I just like my red shows through when I'm looking in the mirror. And like when I look at you guys, I literally feel like I'm looking in the mirror because anything that I tell you, I'm telling myself. And the struggles that I have, I know there's no way that you guys couldn't go through. So remember, make time for your family, make time for yourself. It's time to refocus. It's time to shift your energy on the things that you want, what you want for your team, what you want for the rest of this month. Come next month. Like soon we're going to be talking about what do you want your summer to look like, right? What do you want your paychecks to look like? What do you want your teams to look like? What kind of bonuses do you want to earn? But you can't even get there if you don't fix what's happening right now. And if I don't fix this burnout, if you don't fix this burnout that's happening with you and you don't shift your perspective, stop. If you don't shift your focus, you're going to crash and burn, right? And none of us want that. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. I don't want it for me. I don't want it for anybody. So I actually have a book here. Let me look. Can you guys, I hope you can still hear me.
Hey, Ma.
What?
He's down with others.
Yeah, sit down though. Get off the car. I'm gonna tell you guys about a book.
Book.
Yeah, hang on.
You know.
Okay, it's called The Burnout Generation by Anne Helen Peterson. Burnout Generation by Anne Helen Peterson. And it's free on the Amazon catalog if you have Audible. And it's a really good book. It doesn't necessarily like give you, hang on. It doesn't necessarily give you like what to do if you're feeling burnt out, but it gives you like really specific scenarios and really specific, stop. Okay, sit down. Go sit down. Now. Sit down. It gives you really specific scenarios on like the ways that burnout can come to fruition, basically. So if you are like having a hard time just like catching yourself in the act, this is a really good book for that. But anywho, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta get these kiddos inside. I know that was like kind of short-lived, but I feel like enough said. You know what I mean? So it's time to like get our heads on straight, get everything figured out. If you need a one-on-one, let's do it. If you need a new schedule, let's do it. Like whatever you need, let's get it taken care of tonight, literally, because we don't have time to waste. We have so many people who are so close to promotions. We have so many newbies on this team. We have so many things that we need to be focusing on. So don't focus on going pedal to the metal. Figure out what your new bare minimum is and just focus on a week of that. And then 2 weeks of that, and then 3 weeks of that, and then 4 weeks of that until it becomes a habit. And you're like, okay, anything I do above and beyond that is just above and beyond that and is great, right? But build that like momentum in your business, in your personal business, and you'll watch that flow into your team. So I love you guys. I'm going to let you go, and I will post this recording shortly for you to send to your team if they're struggling with burnout too.